Welcome back to Glitchy Paradise, or Talladega again.
If it glitches out again, we're done.
Yes, I agree with that.
I'll fucking blow my brains out if I have to see this game anymore.
Do you hate it more than Kung Fu? Because you had like a really like...
I only hated that game because I just hated the fact that you kept playing it. Because you kept dying at the same spot, and it's such a short game, and I'm like, please, dude, just give up. Give up the ghost. It's not worth it anymore.
Oh, you're talking to the wrong guy when you're talking about giving up on, especially on games. So that's like, that game is not that bad, where... That was what, like... You always made the case that Jaws was not that bad a game, but that was what I hated about it, was the repetitive, boring nature of it. And then I kept having to do the same thing over and over again. But yet, as much as I hated that, that might have been like one of the most like celebratory feelings I had, was when I was able to beat that. Just because of what had gone into it. I don't remember how many parts we ended up getting out. It's like 9 or 10 parts on it.
Talk about how much we got out of Jaws? Or...
Yeah, Jaws. Kung Fu didn't go that
I like to
long.
apologize for my nose. It's very stuffed up. I'm not COVID ridden. I've had this for like 3 weeks. Fucking allergies, man. Dude, the fucking weather can eat a dick.
Right?
You know, you're supposed to go like between maybe like 50s and 60s, 40s and 50s. I can do that. But when we go from 30 to 70 consistently,
like in a day,
it fucking drives me nuts. Yes, in a fucking day. Every day. It's been 30, 70, or 40, 70. And it's like, fucking just shoot me. Honestly, when I go outside, I feel way better. But as soon as I go in somewhere, I'm like fucking like just shit the bed.
dude, that sound you just made.
Alright, what the fuck are these?
Oh, these are really old school, like, they call them Neapolitan coconut bars.
Oh my god.
They're pink, white, and chocolate, and they all do taste, like, different, too.
Let's talk about the word Neapolitan.
Alright.
So, I have heard that be pronounced several fucking different ways. Neapolitan's the correct way.
That's what I've always heard.
That's what
else
I've
have you heard
consistently. I've heard Napalatin.
That just sounds like an imbecile thing, yeah.
Napalation. Heard Napalation.
Okay. These just sound like really dumbass people that don't know how to speak, like, at all.
Well, I was the one that called it Napalatin for the longest time. And other people...
Did you say that as a kid, though? Because I can, like, kind of see that.
I was a kid.
I can kind of see that, like, if you were...
That's like calling Vienna sausages, like, we used to call them Viennies.
Viennies. That's great.
Because my grandpa called... You know what's funny? I'm not the only person that actually... Like, my grandpa was not the only person that called them Viennies. I was like... Because I heard someone say, oh, the Viennese sausages? I'm like, wait, what? You called them that too? When, like, I didn't know. I just thought... That was something my grandpa
I can,
was
like...
saying.
If you're, like, looking at the thing, I can, as a kid, say... The word horizon... For the longest time, when I was younger, I pronounced it horizon. Because if you look at it...
Horizon. I mean, yeah, it does
look at that
like...
sun coming over the horizon. But that's what... Because, I'd always read it, but, I didn't... And nobody ever corrected me until, like, later on. I'm like, what's a horizon? It's horizon. If you like coconut, you'll like those, because those have really good flavor to them. That's one of Nana's favorite candies. They used to come in, like, much smaller, like, they were kind of, like, little, like, not necessarily bricks, but just, like, the size of those caramel squares that usually melt down or whatever?
I'm trying to think what the fuck you're talking about.
Like, they're just, like, all they are like straight caramel, and then usually you melt them down into a sauce or something. Although I usually just end up popping them and eating them anyway.
I'll tell you one thing. I love this. The problem is, coconut has the worst texture ever. It's got the worst fucking texture, and I feel like I have a mouthful of sand.
This is true. What do you feel about a Mounds bar then? Because if you like, oh, god damn it, fucking fat ass, get through there. Do you like Mounds then?
No.
You don't. Because of the texture of the coconut, or you don't like dark chocolate?
Fucking love dark chocolate. Texture of coconut.
Because that's like nothing but coconut. That's actually one of my favorite candy bars, so I gotta take the opposite side of that. But it's like you get a mouthful of coconut on that. But you're getting a mouthful of coconut on this, and you like the flavor. So. But yeah, I always saw those. Do you remember Brock's Jelly Nougats? They were like white candies, kind of little square shaped, and they had like little like jelly things in the middle of them. Or are you too young for that? You might.
Probably too young.
I have to show you a picture of one. They still sell them. I have to bring some of those sometime just so you can like see what I'm talking about. But I only brought them up because they made these similar coconut things, just like in that size. Because they'd have these candy bins, and you could just like go and like get like a bag full of candy, and then take it up front, and then they would weigh it on the scale up there. I don't think they fucking trust anybody to do that shit anymore. Because people just go out and like fucking eat all the candy, and probably all the health protocols and shit now, but. These are pretty good, though. I hadn't had one of these. I think they sell these at Cracker Barrel, too, because they have a lot of, like, that old-style candy and stuff. I actually bought a box of, like, 24 of these. I think these are the last 3 that are left. So, yeah. And the sky's pink, by the way. You spin me right, baby, right round, right round.
I don't know. I think you've already made up for that. The best circle you've ever done was Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh, shut the fuck up, man.
You know what's funny? I watched that the other day because I was showing a buddy at work. I'm like, dude, you need to see this.
If it wasn't like gonna get us in like copyright trouble, that would have so been great if you'd have, while I was doing that, been able to dub that song in, like at least for a little. I so would have deserved that. Oh gosh, you like fucking wiped us out in that game too. Race over. Now that's driving.
Didn't Steve win one of those races?
One. Just one. He was getting pretty frustrated with it. I'll have to open this up later. I don't waste any more time. Back to Dover. Oh, the blue track. Mario Kart 64 was my probably personal favorite, or at least of the kind of the older ones. Did you like that one much, or did you not have much experience with it?
I had a lot of experience with it. Didn't like it as much as I like Double Dash.
What about the SNES one?
I love that one.
I didn't want to do all of those at some point. Steve has very little experience of the SNES one. He is really bad at that, because he like started off on playing the N64 one, and because of that, he has trouble playing the original one. You know, one of the things I liked the most about that original one too, and it might be a dumb thing, but I always kind of liked like I thought the characters were more like personalized because everybody had like their own theme music and driving style, and like when they were AI, they all had their own weapons and shit. And I kind of thought that that was kind of cool. Do you have any opinion on that, or are you still blowing your brains out?
Still blowing my brains out. Because when I was eating that thing, I could not breathe out my nose. It was driving me nuts.
I always used to use Koopa Troopa in that original game a lot, because he had such good handling. I hear a lot of movement in the upper part of the house.
Guys, we got movement.
Oh my god, we got cows.
But I mean, like, the Super Nintendo Mario Kart was completely different than the N64 Mario Kart.
And the GameCube was completely different than that, which I appreciate, really.
Honestly, I actually disagree. The handling is probably a little better for the GameCube, but how the game functioned.
The game is presented completely differently in the first three. And really, I mean, if you count the Wii one, I mean, hell, you had to use the steering wheel.
Well, when I think of presentation, I think of, like, the limitations of the console itself. Obviously, the SNES had trouble with a 3D space. There was no Z-axis. And in 64, there's a Z-axis. So what that means is that they had to make up, like this right here, this is technically not three-dimensional. This is a X and Y axis game. There's no Z. Now you have layers that you can throw on top, so right now the game looks like you're turning in a circle. Reality is, or you're making a turn. Technically the game is still straight on. It's just changing certain graphics to create the illusion that you're in a 3D environment. With the Super Nintendo Mario Kart, it's completely different because it's got no Z-axis, so they have to program it different. So it's going to handle differently, it's going to react differently, it's going to be presented differently, and it's a completely different animal from the N64 and GameCube games. Just because of that missing axis.
Mm-hmm. But in the point, I don't know how much you heard while you were in there blowing all the snot out of your brains, but the personalization of the characters from the first game and on the SNES one with the different theme musics, and I wish that had continued on throughout the series, because I thought that was kind of cool, that everybody was kind of more personalized. Like you'd win, Koopa Troopa had his own music, Mario, Luigi. Yeah. And when they were AI, like the Mario Brothers all had, like, they were all Starmen when they were, that would be their, the weapon they would use. Oh shit! God damn it. Well,
I think you left a little early. Are you back where you need to be?
Well, like where I was when the game fucked up. I think I was another track ahead of this. Maybe. I think I'm 2 tracks behind where I was. Because the track that I was on the third to last track when it fucked up, so. We're getting there. But I don't know. We're talking about this, and it really makes me want to play like the SNES Mario Kart.
Yeah, I guess when Steve comes back, we can play.
That one's only a 2-player game, though. I think we're gonna have to switch in and out on that. Because I don't think
I don't think the Hudson thing works on that. No.
Well, I mean that's okay. We can make that work. You ever played? Because I played the one on. Well, it ended up being on Game Boy Advance. I played it off of my Wii U because I downloaded it there. Super Circuit. Did you ever have any experience with that?
No, I do not.
It's kind of probably more similar. It's kind of in between the SNES one and the N64 one. I think it's got a lot to like. But I mean, it is on the Game Boy Advance, so you got the limitations of that too. But oh, the final lap. Well, okay. I guess I didn't even really need gas then, because it's on the last lap. We'll do another race.
Now that's driving.
Well, I'll eat that thing later. Throw this in my bag. I'll eat that when I get home. You want this other one? Or?
No.
Alright, I'll give that one. I really like soda. Pocono, tricky triangle. Okay. Yeah, I'll do this one on this part, and then I think we can probably finish off the game on the next part then. Did you ever play the Wii one with like the steering wheel and all that? The tilt controls as it is? Da Vinci did. You never did play that? Huh. We'll have to right that wrong sometime. It was fun, but that's got a hell of a learning curve on it. To try to play that with a steering wheel and shit.
I want to say one of the Need for Speed games, there's a steering wheel set.
Well, it's not really like the one. Yeah, I think I've seen that. But like since it was on the Wii, like you use the Wiimote, but then they give you like the steering wheel attachment, and you put the Wiimote in there.
I've seen those. I've never actually used them.
It's a thing. It's like I said, it's a big learning curve to learn that. Right, Da Vinci?
You're gonna speak, or I'm gonna blow in your face.
He doesn't care.
I don't know. He gets mad whenever if he hears the sound of someone like blowing. He gets mad. Like, watch this.
I could see out of the corner of my eye. It's like his head slowly turned. Like, what the fuck? But he's still purring away.
Usually he gets mad and he starts meowing. Even if you like don't even blow on him.
He's in too good a mood for that right now. What have you ever played any of the newer ones? Because me and Steve play the one for Switch online a lot. They're really fun. They're all like I said, I appreciate that. Although the Mario Kart games all have similar concepts and stuff, the presentation of each one is very different. So that you're not just playing like a clone of one of the other. You know, there's a reason to check all of those out. Like Double Dash is the only one to have the two-person, like two different characters. And
yeah.
The way that works.
I still think that was the best game. I'll probably carry that to the grave. They have not made another good Mario Kart game like that.
Well, and you probably got a lot of sentiment behind that one too, if that's the one that you grew up on and was the most accustomed to. He's in there honking again. The allergies have fucked him up good and proper this time. Although I think if you do play one of those New Age games, you would probably enjoy those too.
Oh no, I would still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong.
And I'm not expecting, like, for me, I have the same sentiment for the N64 version that you do towards the Double Dash one. just because it was the one I always played, probably the most. Because even though I got other game systems earlier in my life, like the N64 is probably the one I don't know how to explain it, did the most growing as a gamer on. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but like where you really learned to be good at games was on that one. Because I was so young playing the NES or the SNES, the first time that... Okay, I need to pit or I'm gonna fucking crash here.
Not the game.
No, when the game's not crashing, no. Not letting that happen again. Drop the car. Now let's actually do all of our... I think I need to make 2 stops during this track.
Why do I hear the Ghostbusters theme from the NES? That's what I hear, and then it's it sounds so close to it.
I wonder what... I have to see what game company made this. Because it was not LJN, I'm almost sure, which is kind of surprising, because...
They usually have all the patented movie titles.
Yeah. You would have thought. I mean, it's the way this plays, you would have fucking... I feel like that they tried to be too ambitious with this, and tried to do more than what the NES was really capable of doing. That's why this kind of is what it is. I still like that Japanese guy raging about it. Like, you can't understand nothing he's saying, but it's just... Steve showed me that. I don't even know, who it was or what.
Mindscape Group published it.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
I think I could be wrong about this. I think this was actually ported from the PC. I think that they released this on PC first. And this is I'm kind of thinking back a long ways here, so I didn't exactly do a lot of research about this ahead of time, but it kind of this reminds me of a PC presentation, though, in a lot of ways. The way that this dashboard is and the way it... I could see playing this on a keyboard, I guess is... I feel like they tried to do too much.
Shit, this company was around until 2011.
Did they make anything else that we know? Yeah.
They had a lot of racing games, apparently.
Any good ones, or are they all? Because right now, this is exactly what I can base that entire company on is this game, and that's not a very positive.
They did Roadrunner on the Commodore 64 and MS-DOS.
You're gonna tell me they did the Roadrunner on the end.
They did Paperboy for the NES and Game Boy.
Huh.
They did Sim Ant.
My mind is kind of blown right now. I could kind of see the Paperboy-ness, the isometric views and stuff, angles and stuff.
Yeah, let's get some more. Hold on a second. Because I wanna get some classifications.
Roadrunner on the Commodore 64. That's another thing Steve doesn't have, although I think those are pretty up there in price. Sorry.
Because it doesn't. It doesn't show that they did it though when I go to the game.
You'll never say Roadrunner without the do 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 do. Fucking soundtrack for that game.
I think they just did like they're a private company. I want to say they just did like a lot of coding and shit. It just looks like it's all they did. No, they're a fucking publisher. So.
Well, shit. The fact that remember that one guy that commented on that Roadrunner video because you titled the video like unlicensed and unnecessary, and the guy came there. Oh, you can't call it unlicensed. It was just licensed by Tengen or something like that.
Yeah, the fucking stupidest person on the internet.
I think he ended up taking that comment down because I came back and like
It's gone. Yeah.
I was kind of like
I didn't fucking delete it.
No, I didn't either. I like responded to it. I was kind of mean about it, but like not like calling him names or anything, but like just like I don't know, proving everything that he said wrong. But he was a dickhead, so I don't feel bad about it.
Unlicensed and unnecessary. You know what's funny? I thought he disliked that video.
But he didn't. Get the
No.
fuck out. Shit. Man, I have to make a third pit stop here. He's using gas like a fucking bus. Well, here we are. Let's fill it up to run one lap here. It's the same track that happened at before. Roadrunner. You really like despised that game too, didn't you? Not that it was a great game that you should have liked, but they made another one on the SNES too called Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally.
Now that
Kind of played like shit, but looked a lot better. Alright, well next time we'll finish this bastard off.
Hopefully if it doesn't glitch.
Well, one way or another it'll be finished.